Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to talk through The Defining Decade, Why Your 20s Matter, by Meg J, published in 2012. But before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Okay, let's get started. In this book, the author discusses her work with 20-somethings as a clinical psychologist. She shares personal stories of clients and students in order to shed light on the importance of this period of life. Jay explains that the 20-something years are often overlooked or dismissed as unimportant. But research shows that many significant events and decisions that shape our futures occur during this time. She emphasizes the need for 20-somethings to make the most of this period, as the decisions and experiences during this time greatly impact the rest of their lives. She also criticizes the societal perception that the 20s are a carefree and disposable period, highlighting the struggles and challenges faced by many 20-somethings today. Many young adults in their 20s experience uncertainty and anxiety. With the freedom to make choices about their careers, relationships, and future, they often feel overwhelmed and unsure of which path to take. This uncertainty is exacerbated by the pressure to have everything figured out by the time they reach 30. However, the author argues that the 20s are a critical period of adulthood, where the experiences and decisions made during this time have a significant impact on one's future. She challenges the notion that 30 is the new 20, emphasizing the importance of seizing the opportunities and making intentional choices during this pivotal stage of life. Jay explores the concept of identity capital and its importance in a person's 20s. It begins by discussing Erik Erikson's own experience of going through an identity crisis and ultimately earning identity capital through various experiences and achievements. She then emphasizes the significance of having a balance between crisis and capital, as too much of either can lead to negative outcomes. The book also highlights the impact of underemployment on overall well-being and long-term career success. The author shares their own experience of starting as a grunt at Outward Bound before eventually pursuing graduate school. The chapter concludes by advising 20-somethings to prioritize jobs that offer more identity capital and emphasizes the potential benefits of taking risks and investing in one's passion. Jay discusses the importance of weak ties in our lives and how they can lead to opportunities and personal growth. She shares personal anecdotes and references sociological research to support this idea. Strong ties, such as close friends and family, can be comforting and supportive, but they often limit our experiences and perspectives. Weak ties, on the other hand, provide access to new information, opportunities, and different ways of thinking. Saying yes to new experiences and interacting with people we don't know well can lead to unexpected and positive outcomes. The book also includes the stories of Cole and Betsy, who both benefited from their interactions with weak ties, which ultimately led to career advancements and personal growth. New opportunities and transformative experiences often come from outside our inner circle. Many young adults resist networking, preferring to rely on their own abilities. However, the author argues that the people we know the least well can have the most impact on our lives. Ben Franklin effect suggests that if weak ties do favors for us, they are more likely to like us and continue to help us in the future. Jay provides advice for leveraging weak ties, including making oneself interesting and relevant, and respectfully asking for help. The chapter concludes by urging 20-somethings to embrace weak ties, as they can enrich their lives and offer new perspectives. Jay highlights the overwhelming feeling of having too many choices in life and the resulting difficulty in making decisions, particularly in one's 20s. She references the jam experiment, where having more options led to less decision-making and ultimately fewer purchases. Young people often believe they have an abundance of choices, but in reality, they are limited to their own set of options based on their experiences, interests, and strengths. The writer follows the journey of Ian, who struggles with indecision, but eventually realizes that he needs to make a choice and take action. She also mentions the influence of social media, such as Facebook, on comparing oneself to others and feeling the pressure to appear successful and popular. Facebook can create a sense of pressure and comparison among its users. People often feel the need to keep up with the manufactured updates of others, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and being left behind. 20-somethings in particular may compare their lives to the idealized versions of their peers and celebrities on social media, causing them to underestimate their own struggles and feel alone. This search for glory, fueled by societal expectations and the tyranny of the shoulds, can prevent individuals from recognizing and pursuing their authentic potential. Finding what is real and authentic for oneself is more important, rather than following societal expectations or external pressures. Ultimately, finding one's place and being true to oneself is more meaningful than striving for an idealized version of life. Ian, a 20-something, the protagonist mentioned in the book, is struggling to find his place in the world. He resists the idea of settling for a mundane job and is on a search for glory and uniqueness. Ian's therapist encourages him to shift from a negative identity, or a sense of what he's not, to a positive one, or a sense of what he is. They discuss the concept of building a custom bike as a metaphor for building a customized life. Ian realizes that an authentic, unique life takes time and effort, and it may require starting with common parts. The therapist suggests that Ian needs to work on telling a compelling story about himself, one that balances complexity with cohesion. This story will help him navigate the job market and communicate his interests and talents effectively. Ian, reflecting on his career choices and the importance of making decisions, realizes that he has been hesitant to commit to a specific path for fear of closing other doors. However, he understands that making choices and taking action is necessary for personal growth. He also reflects on the significance of marriage and how it often gets overlooked in society. Jay mentions the pressure faced by 20-somethings to find a partner and get married by a certain age. While many young adults may want to delay marriage to explore their options, there are challenges that come with marrying later in life. The author emphasizes the importance of thoughtful decision-making and the need to have honest conversations about relationships and marriage. She highlights the societal pressure to delay settling down and getting married until one's 30s, leading to a sense of urgency and anxiety as one approaches that age. Jay shares stories of clients who struggle with finding a partner and building a family, feeling the weight of societal expectations and the fear of being left behind. The importance of choosing the right partner and creating a supportive and loving family is emphasized, as well as the need to prioritize relationships earlier in life rather than waiting until later. The writer also explores the impact of family backgrounds on relationship choices and the desire for a sense of belonging and connection. Overall, the chapter paints a picture of the complexities and desires surrounding relationships and family in one's 20s and 30s. Picking and creating our own families is a crucial opportunity for 20-somethings, but it is often overlooked. Many 20-somethings believe that family is beyond their control and turn to friends or therapists for support, or they swear off family altogether. However, individuals have the power to choose and create their own families, which will shape their lives in the years to come. Living together before marriage, commonly seen as a test for compatibility, actually has a negative impact on marriages. Couples who cohabitate before engagement show lower levels of commitment and communication, resulting in greater marital instability. Additionally, cohabitation can lead to a sense of being trapped due to the difficulty of ending the relationship. This concept, known as lock-in, occurs when the costs and effort of changing the situation outweigh the benefits. Jay discusses the concept of lock-in and the switching costs associated with cohabitation and relationships. Initially, the setup costs of moving in together can seem manageable and even fun. However, as time goes on, these setup costs can make it difficult to leave the relationship. She also explores the idea of dating down and the negative consequences of settling for less in relationships. She emphasizes the importance of consciously choosing one's partner and not staying in a relationship out of convenience. Cohabitation can increase the likelihood of staying in an unsuitable relationship rather than safeguarding against divorce. She advises individuals to be clear about commitment levels and to regularly evaluate constraints that may hinder leaving if desired. Also, she discusses the role of self-cures and the need to let go of old solutions that are no longer effective. The narrative follows the stories of two individuals, Kathy and Eli, who are struggling in their relationships. Kathy feels the need to constantly seek validation and attention from men in order to feel wanted and special. She has internalized the criticism and rejection from her past, causing her to prioritize the opinions of others over her own wants and needs. Eli, on the other hand, is in a relationship with someone who doesn't share his interests or bring out the best in him. Both Kathy and Eli realize the importance of being in relationships where they feel seen, understood, and genuinely liked. They learn that compatibility and genuine liking are key factors in building a strong and satisfying relationship. The writer highlights the importance of similarity in relationships and how it contributes to relationship satisfaction and longevity. Couples who are similar in various aspects, such as socioeconomic status, education, age, ethnicity, religion, attractiveness, attitudes, values, and intelligence, tend to be more satisfied and less likely to seek divorce. However, the writer emphasizes that not all similarities are equal, and some are deal breakers while others are matchmakers. Personality is identified as a crucial factor that can determine compatibility, and the Big Five personality traits, openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, are introduced as a way to understand and assess compatibility. Being on the high end of the neuroticism dimension can be toxic for relationships, as it leads to criticism and contempt. Jay explores the story of Phineas Gage, a railway worker who survived an accident in which a tamping iron was driven through his head. Although he survived, Gage experienced a significant personality change, demonstrating that the frontal lobe of the brain plays a role in behavior and decision-making. Advancements in brain imaging technology have allowed researchers to understand the development of the brain more fully. It is revealed that the frontal lobe, responsible for forward thinking and decision-making, does not fully mature until the age of 30. This explains why individuals in their 20s may struggle with decision-making and planning for the future. The author emphasizes that forward thinking is a skill that develops with practice and experience, rather than being solely dependent on age. Despite common misconceptions that Gage lived as a loser or freak, he actually worked as a stagecoach driver, which allowed his frontal lobe to relearn the skills compromised by the accident. This shows the brain's plasticity and its ability to change in response to the environment. The writer also explains that the brain goes through two critical periods of growth, one in early childhood and another in the 20s. During this period, the brain forms new connections, which can be preserved or pruned based on the experiences and activities undertaken. The 20s are a time of great risk and opportunity, as the brain is still plastic and quick to learn. Jay emphasizes the importance of engaging in good jobs and real relationships to learn the language of adulthood and become the person one aspires to be. She then shifts to discussing the challenges faced by 20-somethings in the workforce and the need to navigate the new world of work. She highlights the importance of understanding the office culture, adapting communication styles, and being mindful of actions. Danielle, a 20-something who feels overwhelmed and anxious in her job as an assistant to a demanding boss. Despite her struggles, these experiences are necessary for personal growth and building confidence in one's chosen field. The author explores the experiences of 20-somethings in the workplace, highlighting the impact of surprise and criticism on their mental and emotional well-being. She explains that the 20-something brain is wired to pay attention to unexpected events, leading to stronger emotional reactions to negative information. This can result in heightened anxiety and a tendency to take criticism personally. However, as individuals age, they develop a positivity effect, where they focus more on positive information and are less affected by negative events. The author advises 20-somethings like Danielle to reevaluate their perspective on challenging moments and practice self-soothing techniques to build resilience. She also encourages developing a growth mindset, believing that confidence and success can be cultivated over time. Jay discusses the concept of a growth mindset and its importance in achieving success and confidence. She highlights the differences between individuals with fixed mindsets and growth mindsets, specifically in relation to their response to challenges and failures. She also emphasizes the importance of mastery experiences in building confidence and suggests that confidence comes from gaining experience and skills in the desired area, that it takes approximately 10,000 hours of focused full-time work to become exceptionally good at something. The writer provides the example of Danielle as a young professional who learns the importance of mastery experiences and the need to persist through challenges in order to build confidence. The writer also explores the story of Sam, a young man in his 20s who is struggling with anxiety and anger after his parents' divorce. Sam has been living a transient lifestyle, moving between different places and jobs, feeling directionless and unfulfilled. The therapist encourages Sam to make commitments and set goals in order to find stability and build a more fulfilling life. Sam eventually finds an apartment and gets a dog, which gives him a sense of purpose and routine. He starts working with dogs professionally and establishes his own business. Sam's life begins to improve, and he feels happier and more confident. The book also touches on the topic of fertility, highlighting the increasing number of couples having children later in life and the importance of understanding fertility statistics for those who want to have children in the future. A woman named Caitlin who, at 34, was unsure about having children despite being in a committed relationship. The author herself, a fertility specialist, warns Caitlin that delaying the decision could result in difficulties getting pregnant later on. The book outlines the decline in fertility as women age and the increased risks of miscarriage. It highlights the high costs and low success rates of fertility treatments and shares the heartbreaking story of Caitlin's failed attempts to conceive. Jay also discusses the impact of delayed childbearing on marriages and families, as well as the potential loss of time with grandparents for future generations. The writer tells the story of a man named Billy who regretted prioritizing fun and adventure in his 20s and urged others to consider the importance of their future, making informed decisions about fertility and family planning. Jay also discusses the concept of time and how 20-somethings perceive it. She recalls a conversation with a sales clerk who said he didn't want to quit smoking because he would rather have fun in his 20s than live to be old. This highlights the present bias that many young people have. The author also talks about the disorienting nature of life in your 20s, where there is a lack of clear goals and milestones. Finally, she suggests the use of a timeline to make the future feel more concrete and less abstract. The last chapter is a conversation between Dr. J and Rachel. Rachel is in her 20s and is contemplating her future. She is unsure about when to start her career, when to have a family, and how to navigate her 20s. Dr. J advises her to focus on her education and to stop dating people she doesn't truly want to be around. Rachel takes Dr. J's advice and starts preparing to attend law school. Throughout her journey, she realizes the importance of creating her own timeline and making intentional choices. She learns that her 20s are a crucial time for self-discovery and laying the foundation for her future. Thank you so much for watching this video. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'll see you in the next video.